Mangosteen, Secrets Revealed. Hello and welcome to Mangosteen, Secrets Revealed with Dr. Robert C. Stone. Dr. Stone is an osteopathic physician, trauma psychiatrist, and author of the upcoming book, Circle of Wisdom. Dr. Stone spent 5 years as one of the most requested trainers for the pharmaceutical industry before being introduced to the mangosteen. Since then, he has dedicated himself to helping others understand the science and experience of the mangosteen. Hundreds of thousands have heard his message through his best-selling CDs, Fighting the Fatal Five, and Keys to the Disease. But now, for the first time, you can hear the presentation he has reserved strictly for his live audiences. This live recording captures the humor and passion Dr. Stone has become famous for. Please join us now for Mangosteen, Secrets Revealed.
How many of you believe that spreading the message of the mangosteen is vitally important? Thank you. How many of you, is this a first meeting? Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Yes, please. I am Dr. Robert Stone, and over the last year and a half, I have had the opportunity of presenting mangosteen to thousands of people across the United States and Canada, and sharing what I've learned and learning from the people that I have had the opportunity to visit with. And in that year and a half, a new presentation has evolved, and that is what you're here to hear tonight. Starting with kind of the business end of this. In the United States, licensure is a matter of public record. You can go to the Oregon State Board of Medical Examiners and you can put in Robert Stone and you will get this slide. And it tells you my name, my license number, the fact that it's unlimited, there are no restrictions on my license. The point is that even though I've done all the work doing my research and done all the work with the pharmaceutical companies and the other things and the publishing, really it comes down to one credential. Many people have come to me and told me that if I'm up here telling people that I'm a doctor and I'm giving the medical aspects of the mangosteen, they would like me to be a licensed physician. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, thank you. What's the difference between disease and disaster? Disease is when the other person has it. The reason I say this is because I really don't believe the term disease adequately describes what it's like when you have the condition. I think the word disaster is more appropriate. When you have something that's threatening your life, not just the quality of your life, but the quantity of your life, I believe the term disaster fits more appropriately. And as I have spent my life working with people suffering from these conditions, I think they would agree. The point is, though, if we could prevent a disaster, would we? One more time. If we could prevent a disaster, would we? Yes! Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, this is a mangosteen presentation, but would you mind if I took 2 minutes to share with you how I was introduced to the mangosteen? No. Would that... You wouldn't mind? Okay. I used to present for the pharmaceutical companies. I presented for 5 of the major pharmaceutical companies for 5 years, and I've actually found out that if you can make neurotransmitters in the brain interesting, they'll pay you a lot of money. But I'm responsible for the sale of millions of dollars of pharmaceuticals along the way, and I'm here tonight to repent. Thank you. But many of you probably have similar examples of how you literally tripped and fell into mangosteen. And then all of a sudden, a year later, your life is nothing like you thought it was going to be. Maybe your health is nothing like you thought it would be. Maybe your check's nothing like you thought it would be. But for me, it was my very last presentation for a pharmaceutical company. My business partner, Dr. David Bird, knows Rick Thomas's magician's assistant from a previous business they had done together. The day I was leaving to go to Las Vegas to give my final oh, they brought my chair. That's very... Oh, okay. Well, it looked about my size. The day I was leaving, he said, "Hey, I think I can get you tickets to a magic show." I said, "Sure." My wife, Natalie, who's with me tonight, was coming on this trip. So we went to the trip. I did my presentation, and the next night we went to the Stardust. He was at the Stardust then. He's at the Orleans now, just opening in a few days, because the Stardust is going the way of many things in Vegas. But when Rick Thomas found out there was a doctor scamming free tickets to his show, he left a little something else for me. And it was about the size of a CD. So I got my tickets at will call, and there's the CD, and my first thought is, oh God, I hope this isn't network marketing. I even called Dr. Bird. I said, Bird, what is this? He goes, I don't have any idea what they're up to. So after the show, and the show is amazing, you got to go see his show. It's got the beautiful tigers, the cats. He does the fantastic magic, and it's just out of this universe, no matter how many times you see it. But at the end of the show, and this is actually our first lesson tonight, at the end of the show, he shook hands with 1,000 people leaving, and I was in line. I shook hands. I said, oh, Rick Thomas, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Stone. I loved your show. And he goes, oh, Dr. Stone, did you get my CD? And I said, yes, I did. And he just looked at me. He goes, listen to that CD. You will know what I'm about. And in the space of 10 or 15 seconds, he made a human-to-human connection with me that made me go, okay, well, I've got to fly home anyway. I've got to listen to something. I'll try the CD. But the point is that this is a human-to-human spread business. Whether it's on the phone or email or in person, it is person-to-person. And that's that connection that immediately let me put away just enough of my concerns to say, okay, I'll listen to it. Now, CD is also from the heart. His story of why mangosteen was so important for him. So when I got home, I thought, I'll look it up. Now, how many of you realize as a doctor, I'm probably pitched on a lot of products? Yes, you realize that? How many of you have ever tried to share the message with a doctor?